Okay, good afternoon everyone. I say good afternoon. Again, I don't know when you're watching this, so whenever you're watching this, hello! We're here at Can-Do HQ with the wonderful Jules Webb. Jules, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Well, that's good to hear. I'd like to know that someone's doing great in the time of pandemic, the time of COVID 2021.
Oh, it's not that great.
I mean, great enough to...
Yeah,
cool. Now, the reason we know Jules, well, for many reasons, but you actually came and did work experience with us many years ago. What were you doing on the work experience?
I remember there were two work experiences. One was staying here and helping out with a few kind of film and animation-based ideas.
That's right.
And another was a refugee documentary
project over in Swindon, which anyone who's been watching this will know that so the art exhibition that's now currently in the shop, the social hub of positivity, which is what we call, right, Jules, it's social hub of positivity. We're quite proud of that.
It's pretty positive.
Well, thank you, isn't it? See, it is positive. I like that. So for those, it's the shop currently in Emery Gate. Obviously, that's a temporary thing. So, but the actual ideas, the idea of people linking up, not just creative people, but people from all over the community, helping each other to get through life, let alone pandemics. However, the refugee project, you were fantastic. So you're right, you did do 2 weeks. I think that's probably unusual actually that people come back at all once they've met me. But anyway, you did 2, which was fantastic. What have you gone on to do since you did your work experience?
So I do believe that was when I was still in secondary school. And beyond that I went to Bath College and studied media. So that was a very general course, drawing, involved design.
You became a general at the end of it. It was a general course where,
It was very much like that. It was very regimental. Fought in a couple of wars based on editing softwares. It was ridiculous. It was a crazy 2 years.
Crazy 2 years,
but it taught me a lot.
Yeah.
I learnt a bunch there. Got more into animation and drawing. I think previously I didn't have a very set idea of what I wanted to do, but going to college, it was, I knew instantly
Fantastic.
what I wanted to do.
Give you a little bit of a breathing space. Was that like a foundation course? How long was that course?
It was a 2-year. It was just a media and communications course. The first year was very general. We would be making movies. We would be using editing software. We would study design. We'd study drawing. It was a real mishmash of a year. And then the second year we could choose, do you want to go into filmmaking or do you want to go into design? And instead of choosing filmmaking, I chose design, as that was definitely more orientated towards animation.
Oh, I see. Not sort of general design, very specific sort of. Okay.
Yeah, I think filmmaking was filmmaking, and you could do animated films, but there's a lot more to animation than, I suppose it depends on what kind of animator you are. I can't give it that sort of blanket statement of, that's not 100% what animation is.
What we do then, I think, would be if we cut into just you with a blanket that said animation, it's a blanket statement. Get it? Just keep going. Just ignore me. I'm ignoring myself at this point.
That could be a good idea.
Let's just have blankets with things written on it. So would you say that the second year then you had a chance to kind of think more, specialise in what area you want to do?
Yeah.
Is it a course that you'd recommend to any young people that might be watching this?
It was a really lovely general media course anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go to that course and get anything out of it. You could go to that course and get music out of it.
Yeah.
You could go to that course and know what to do with an editing career or a filmmaking career. You could specialise in cameras, you could specialise in directing, maybe even producing. It was very open, you could do a lot there.
So if a young person at this current age, what age do you go there, would you say? Sort of 16, 17?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
after they leave as a higher education type of idea, you
Yeah.
could recommend that as a way to, if you're interested in the media broadly, you can go and maybe do that course,
Yeah.
and then you can specify after the second. Right.
Mm.
What did you do after that course finished then?
Straight onto uni.
Which was
I was
where?
lucky enough to go to University of West of England, so right in Bristol, pretty much one of the biggest hubs of animation in,
Yes, it is. Yeah,
in the UK.
Yeah, I forgot that's where you went. Yeah.
Really nice. Got to go to Ardman,
Yeah.
well, multiple times. It was actually quite nice going there. I don't
Is
think.
he as hard as they makes out?
Yeah.
He's
Really
an
tough.
hard man. Come on then, mate. You're made of plasticine. You're not even hard at all.
I met Mr. Ardman. He was holding up the building.
Yeah.
And-
Plus smoking copious amounts of
The s-
whatever
the
and
staff-
just being aggressive.
The staff don't animate anymore. They just kind of feed him plasticine, make new limbs out of plasticine, and film is
nice.
just kind of
That's
appear.
nice. That's good. So there's no hard work involved at all. See,
Yeah, of course.
I could get involved.
Of course not.
So how long was that course?
That course was 3 years.
Fantastic.
Finished in 2020, as soon as things started hitting the fan, which was
Mm.
a very strange end of the year.
And now, as an animator, we could maybe have an animation of things hitting fans. Just ideas for this show.
Yeah.
We've got an animator with us. This is basically one of the things that we're going to get Jules to do.
It's on the
over-
screen now.
Yeah. Wow, that's how good he is, everyone. This is the kind of thing we want Jules to do. Is we've kind of developed this idea. It's evolving each time we meet up with new collaborators, and we've got Louis here. You'll see Louis and other guys some other time, and the wonderful Rebecca. So here's the crack. We do definitely want you to do it. How did you get on in that? What did you get out of that?
It was a really nice course. Met some really lovely people, and similar to the media course, it just helped focus what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
So throughout that course, I was able to use software which I would have never had access to in college or
Yeah.
even on my own. I was able to be taught by some really lovely and informed tutors
Yeah.
and lecturers who knew the industry and knew the craft, so they were able to kind of discuss various perspectives on animation, which really helps. And even now I'm still reflecting on what certain people say and trying to put that into my own work and really develop it, further than I can ever think.
Yeah, and bizarrely, I won't say bizarrely, because in that type of industry, music, film, the arts generally, a lot of people like to do the courses. They might do it at a higher level, then go on like yourself to do a degree. But rarely enough do they go on to actually getting paid work within the industry.
Mm.
Now you're already getting paid work. Now, also, just so you know, we're going to show your latest show reel.
Mm-hmm.
So let's show it now. I want to see, obviously we can cut this, but wouldn't it be just great if I stood there or sat here still for as long as I think that show reel is, about minutes. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to show it. Really great stuff.
Thank you.
No, you see,
We
everyone
just saw it.
Yes, you see, everyone can agree. I don't have to. The beautiful thing about you being able to do that is we can visually show it. You also entered a piece in our digital film festival, which was fantastic. Was that your final piece?
So that was the graduate film that me and the Brain Case Collective worked on, which was a group of friends and university colleagues who we all found out that we worked really well, and so we worked on a film. I was the director and character designer. We had should I say that? I'll say the names. Ben Harvey on storyboards. We had Emma Tilbrook on producing, and Aidan Royston on backgrounds. And there were other jobs. It wasn't just that. It was it was a real mixing.
But it's a collaboration, and that's the beautiful thing about going into, potentially, it's not guaranteed, going to higher education or going to those doing those courses. The hope that you're going to meet like-minded people, that you can become the sort of sum of all its bits, that each person's quite good at. Particularly, literally nothing. But the only reason I'm ever in a team is because I've invented the team. But hey, let's have a team. Yeah, can I be in it? I pick myself, and it's the only way I get picked. I notice. You meeting, collaborating with those people. I've seen the stuff. So we're gonna do a clip of that now. Obviously, if people wanted to see the whole thing, how would they get hold of it?
Well, right now it's doing its festival circuit run, so I can't post it online quite yet.
Can we see? Have we just seen a clip of that?
We have.
We have just seen a clip of it. We have. You've seen a clip of it, everyone? Yeah, but you want to...
Now I get strange letters from festivals.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. I don't know where this festival is, but hey, wait a minute. This is what the guy... Maybe it's one. Hey, wait a minute. Jules, people seen a clip.
Yeah.
That's just...
I'll be getting those exact letters.
You will be getting... Or voice messages. Oh, it's me again. Who is this person? I think it's Ed. Right.
At some point, that'll be released online.
Perfect. Okay, so if you were going to give some advice to a young person now watching this, besides don't watch this because it's quite boring, what would your advice be?
About animation, about anything?
Yeah, about following your dreams as well, because that's quite amazing. That
you're allowed to make crap things. You're allowed to make crap things. I've made countless crap things. And there's nothing wrong with that.
He's mean, but you got better. Well, making mistakes.
Well, not even mistakes. Make passion projects.
Yeah.
If it has anything to do with animation, if it has anything to do with art, if you're mindlessly doodling on a page, you shouldn't be obsessed with the quality.
Man after my own heart.
You gotta, if you enjoy it, do it.
Perfect. Right, a few general questions then. Because people can check out Bath College and Bristol. You said if they're thinking now, obviously it's a bizarre time to be looking at education, degrees, whatever. But we're going to get through this one way or the other, right? So if we can get good advice from each other, give me some good advice. Give the young people listening to this some good. For the old people, I don't care who's listening to it. Through the pandemic, what's helped you get through? What sort of films and what sort of books have you been reading? And
I'm quite lucky in regards to dealing with the pandemic, because obviously the career of animation is quite insular anyway, and you're not walking around loads.
Yeah, you can create your own characters in your own bedroom, as opposed to a film. You have to.
I'd say in regards to films and series, I've always enjoyed going down rabbit holes of obscure kind of media and shows, especially animated stuff. It helps broaden the design library that people kind of develop as they get into art and as they get into animation or films or whatever. It's really nice seeing that sort of stuff and finding out more. So I've been seeing a lot of Adult Swim stuff, especially the earlier kind of days when it was they had all these Hanna-Barbera shows and they were just kind of splicing it up, adding weird commentary like Space Ghost, Sealand 2021. That's always lovely to see, because it wasn't so much about the animation as it was, or animating new stuff and creating new stuff, as it was just kind of adapting and completely recontextualizing all this stuff. And that's lovely to see. That's been helping me out loads. I suppose it also kind of harkens back to life where a pandemic wasn't even in the public sphere. Nobody would have ever thought about it.
Yeah, it should have been maybe it should have been in the government or governments. Let's not just blame this current government. Okay, everyone. Let's not just blame them. Let's look at preparation in future and what could possibly happen. Is it Murphy's Law? What could happen will happen. Is that right? Am I right there? Check it, people. Murphy's Law. Maybe government should think of that. Well, yeah, what could happen? Meteorites? Yes. Such and such? Yes. Tottenham win the league? But stuff that can happen, right? Books. Any books you've been reading?
I've been getting into. There's this YouTube channel that I love called Cartoonist Kayfabe, and they talk about comics. That's it. They talk about comics from comic makers' perspectives, and as a result, they tend to kind of review very expensive and rare to find artist books. So, and sometimes you can find them online. Sometimes
give me some examples and give us some examples.
Chris Ware has a brilliant series of kind of artist books where he talks about his process and his creative journey.
Yeah.
I was looking online and I found this huge A3 book that he made that was just all about kind of his life and his journey. It was brilliant. It was lovely reading through that. Having a look at just the stuff he'd do and the amount of stuff he'd do. Another good one to read is Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. I've loved that book ever since college, and that's just that's like a groundbreaking book. If you come out of that with a...
I'm visualising, it's me hitting the ground, breaking it.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah.
You read that book and you go, oh, I never thought comics were like that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Can I ask you what you think about Jamie Euler? Tank Girl, Gorillas.
Oh! I'm not into gorillas. I need to research into it more. I feel like it's...
About the artwork. He's a lovely bloke. I love his art. It is art, his creations. Tank Girl, do you know Tank Girl from 2000 AD?
I think
Judge Dredd when it was in the centre of it initially, I think. I might be wrong with that, but I think great stuff. Really, again, I thought it was groundbreaking. But that was just interesting to know if you knew that. Right, okay, so...
I kind of do. I definitely know through just cultural osmosis what gorillas is. But it's something that I do have to
have a look at Tank Girl. Interesting what you think about Tank Girl.
Okay.
Relaunching his Tank Girl career, I think he's alright. First thing you're going to do after the pandemic, when it all closes down, if it ever closes down, if it ever stops being a thing, what's the first thing you do besides hugging people? What is the first thing you're going to do, or you want to do, you'd like to do?
Apart from, I suppose, work related, I'd love to visit some of the studios around Bristol. Finally, within the animation industry, there's been a real kind of not smooth. There's been some rocky starts for some studios, but there's been overall it's been quite smooth transitioning to remote working because most people have a computer, most people can easily get the software from their studio, and they can just go, all right, well, I've got everything here, let's just do it here.
Yeah.
And it's quite easy to go into that. And I'm used to remote work so far.
Yeah.
It'd be lovely to try some studio work because I've done a little bit of studio work for a smaller studio, Sons of Graham, and that was really lovely. I really gelled with that studio atmosphere, and it'd be lovely once that's possible.
Yeah.
So
It's an interesting one.
give it a go.
I think in any context, but bouncing ideas off people, whether you happen to work for the local council or for some big movie, whatever, the idea of having interface is important. I found the whole Zoom thing quite hard to fathom. Hard to fathom, I don't log on, let alone communicate. So bless everyone that's restricted to that. But yeah, so working with other people, essentially, you're talking about.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. I mean, not only on a professional sense, but also on an individual sense as well, or like on a more personal sense with getting the brain case locked back together, or make another short.
Yeah.
If we have the time, I mean, we might at that point all be just working professionals, and I've got no time for.
I've got no time for those bums. I'm at a university. How dare you contact me? Speak to my solicitor.
Yeah, well.
No, really.
Who knows? We
I
might
got one, but try to get it.
Might just become boring. We might
Absolutely.
change.
Yes, it's true. Okay, any little life hacks that you can think that have helped you get through this time and that you use as a thing? Is it an exercise or a place you go walking, or what's your thing that's helping you on a personal level get through?
I've quite liked walking the dog. I suppose that's like quite a normal thing.
It's great.
For
That's what you
dog
learn.
owners.
Listen, I bet there's plenty of people watching this now that are looking at a dog. The dog's looking at them, and they're looking at each other, and they're thinking, well, maybe a little walk would be good for both of them. I know my family who've got dogs always send in videos of walking their dogs. It's fantastic. Well, I say fantastic. It's lovely for them. I like seeing them being happy and the dog's exercising. It's all great. So yeah, cool. What sort of dog is it?
It's a little Ewok dog. I forget. Brussels Griffon. That's the one.
Wow.
Brussels Griffon.
Wow.
Tiny little thing.
Wow. I want to see, can we see a photograph of that in this? Can you edit this photograph into that? Right. Cool. Jules? It's fantastic. Jules is doing some animation workshops with Can Do Arts, which we're going to Zoom and do for our young people who are remote learning. He's also training a few people here. So until we see you, we'll see him. We'll see some animation on this. Thank you very much. Anything else you'd finally like to say? Help! Help me, Mama! Help me! Nice one, Jules.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Cool. Thank you.